How's everybody doing? Let's see here. Yeah, they've been going crazy. ICE and the government in general has just been insanely militarized. I mean, they were militarized 20 years ago, but they've gotten just so out of control. It's unbelievable. Police departments and really the entirety of entirety of departments are just out of order is one way to put it. I don't know. I don't know what you know, sometimes I just don't have the words. Sometimes I have too many words, but sometimes I just don't have any. I don't have the words. She got a DUI without driving. That's pretty good. Sounds about cop to me. That sounds pretty cop like. DUI without driving. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, they can beat the shit out of people in wheelchairs. I mean, they can shoot somebody like 15 times over butter knives. Wayne PD, John Zook Jr. murdered him. Wayne PD. Blackwell, no Serini, 2022. I mean, they basically tried to murder Mark Blackwell. What they did to him is it's truly vile. Truly vile. Well, yeah, I mean, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in the city of Wayne. Nothing has changed. But nothing's really changed in America. I mean, because I think we have a huge uptick in police misconduct, and that's putting it mildly. That's putting it as light as I can. But yeah, there's just too much. There's too much misconduct going on, and you just tell somebody no, and they want to shove a giant dick up your ass. Try to ruin your life because you told somebody no. I mean, that's when you can't have a little cooking fire in your backyard, bonfire, you don't own your land and you don't have freedom. You can't sit here and tell me we live in a free country and people are being treated this way. It's just not how it works. It's not how it works. Cop doesn't understand the law. Yeah, they don't. They don't have to.
Search and seizure. All you can do is grab the firearm and then close my door.
That's all I want is the firearm. See, making it harder.
Do you understand it's illegal? I'm gonna sue you.
If you gotta have a carry permit, you got a firearm with you. At least have one in the chamber so you're ready to use it. Okay? Having it not in the chamber delays the reaction for you guys to be able to use it. Okay?
I know how to use it.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's say make it easy.
Yeah, last person I would take advice from about firearms are police officers. They have as much training as they have less training than a barber or a cosmetologist, somebody who cuts hair primarily. They have less training than virtually, I mean, quite a few professions. I mean, I would say 90% of professions have more training than police officers. And police officers aren't even required to know the law, which is, I mean, it's kind of ironic that they don't have to know the law, but they get to decide how it's enforced. It's like, wow, that's an interesting That's interesting. And then you're gonna sit here and tell me we live in a free country. I'm like, no, I don't believe so. Well, that's where certain things come in. But I think the biggest thing, when I was in school, we had a discussion on the topic of jury nullification, right? The pros and cons, and everybody who was either the victim of police brutality or knows someone who's the victim of police brutality, they understand, jury nullification, and but the fact that you can't, you can't even inform a jury on it. I mean, the fact that you're not even allowed to educate someone on, like, it's real funny, right? You look at the case law and they'll be like, well, you got the power to nullify, but it's not a right and you shouldn't do it. And it's like, well, you have the power to do it, so you can do it, but don't do it. And I'm like, sounds kind of bullshit. Sounds kind of bullshit. It's like, if it's a right or if it's a power that you can utilize, well, you should, educate those on, what it is. And people that were accused, of partaking in the Underground Railroad, or things like that. I mean, you had people that would basically act as abolitionists, and they would be persecuted. And jury nullification was a safeguard against just persecution and vindictive persecution and vindictive prosecution. It's a safeguard against it. So the fact that you're not allowed to talk about it, you're not allowed, basically, like, that right there shows you don't live in a free country. The fact that it's like anything, you can educate a jury on just about anything, but they don't like you alluding to or talking about nullification, because that threatens their power. Like I said, anything that threatens municipalities' power, their money, their taxes, they just feel like they can come after you with any type of vindictiveness that they want. And it's just, we don't live in a free country, guys. Not in 2025. It's just, it's sad, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do besides fight the good fight? What are you going to do besides fight the good fight? Can't really sleep that well because these fucking people. I mean, it's $10 million lawsuit. Let's see. No. That's what the video says. $10 million lawsuit. That's pretty wishful thinking. Pretty wishful thinking.
Daniel starts here. From cave spring water to sugar maple charcoal to smooth Tennessee whiskey. Made by those who pour everything into their craft. And that's what makes Jack, Jack.
It's not in my interest for Hector Salamanca.
Just got threatened with arrest, and so did supposedly driving a stolen car, but my old lady is registered owner of the car. So RCMP CST Steve Spence is still threatening arrest. Yeah, sounds about Saskatchewan. Wow, they're doing that up in Canada too. Yeah, Canada is another police state. They're another police state. My old lady just got threatened with arrest. Yeah. So did for supposedly driving a stolen car. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, you know, the police aren't required to know the law whatsoever, and then they can just like ruin a common person's life, inconvenience the fuck out of your life. You know, I mean, they can impose virtually any condition they want on you and have unlimited power. And then the second you, basically, if you don't take the, you know, if you don't take it in the ass elbow deep, then you have to pay the consequences, right? Because you can, you know, that what I've learned is like it's like these people truly think that they're gods. You know, they truly think that they just can come and tell you what you're gonna do, and that, I mean, it's like May 19th, right? Like that's the hashtag, right? May 19th, because everyone has a May 19th, right? Where the police commit an obvious violation of the law, several violations, and then like on May 19th, right? Like they don't have any police report from that day. 12 cops, you know, the whole police. You have an encounter with the entire police force, but there's no police report, right? I mean, you have that level of bullshit. Everyone, I feel like, at some point in their life has to deal with that. You know, a bullshit ticket. You know, you guys saw my window tint video driving through the city of Ann Arbor. Says I was on a phone. You can't even see in the car. Like, I mean, yeah, they'll say anything, right? They'll do like police and courts. They'll just like do and say anything, and you know, they intentionally. I've noticed this too, is they intentionally want to. There's no, you can't be proactive, right? Like you can't, they won't let you have a real arraignment. They won't let you actually like they try to rush you through like cattle. They discourage jury trials. You know, they just want the whole, I don't know, I mean, it's not even English common law anymore, right? It's totally it's horrifying, is how easy it is to catch a case in this country. I mean, you know, and then to have to basically put a second mortgage on your house to file a 1983 is just, you know, another travesty. But the only thing you can do, like I said, is document, 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 and you know, find the best lawyer or team of lawyers that you can, get to know a lot of them, and you know, that's really how you eventually get these fuckers, right? I mean, it might take you a few times, right? Because you know they're dirty, man. I mean, it's like 2/3 of police departments are dirty. 2/3 of those in the police departments are dirty. I mean, you know, there are some good cops, but they're not the majority. They're definitely not the majority. And so it's just put some money away, have a good ass lawyer present, and then put some more money away for a 1983, and then you do a couple of those, you win a couple, you win one, and they'll leave you alone after that, or they'll try to settle it, you know, because they don't want their dirty laundry aired out there. But you gotta have a really effective lawyer. Yeah, you gotta be your own lawyer too, you know. You gotta make it you gotta make your case go the way you want it to. You know, because they're gonna try to dictate the pace. They're gonna try to, you know, it's just like a basketball game, right? They're gonna try to impose their game plan onto you, and you know, a lot of times the courts will just go along with it. You know, it's wild shit. Wild shit. And then get transcripts too. You know, if you do have to go to court, make sure you always get the transcripts, and you know, create some have Chat GPT. You know, if you can learn how to work that, guys, psh, I mean, you can go in there with a cheat sheet. You can go in there, you know, that way you're concise, you know, because it's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit how, you know, they try to basically force you to plea out into some bullshit that, you know, you didn't do, or you have to get a jury trial and go through that bullshit. And it's just like, yeah, it's a hell of a decision. It's a hell of a decision to make, whether to take a plea to get shit over with or to spend $20,000-$30,000 in some cases. More than that, you know, it's a lot of fucking headache when, you know, they could literally just violate your shit again and violate it again. And it's because they're not held accountable. It's not like a real profession, right? Like a real profession, you have to have insurance, right? And if you can't have insurance, then you're not practicing your profession, right? So if the money came out of their insurance, right, they get sued, their insurance has to pay out. Well, then that would stop 99% of all this shit pretty much overnight. Because if you didn't have if you had too many complaints, too many convictions, too many bad judgments, you wouldn't be able to get insurance. And no more cop. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, the taxpayer just gets to foot the bill. So it's like basically you sue your own city. Let's say at best case scenario, you get what you asked for. Well, now everybody's taxes go up, and then you're the enemy, right? And then of course, you know, the police and everyone else, they're still gonna keep fucking with you, right? I go after them as their own entity. Yeah, I mean, you have to do that. You got to do that. I go after them as their own entity. Yeah, I mean, especially if they're acting and, you know, I mean, if there's a sergeant or a lieutenant involved some way, I mean, yeah, that's a policymaker. So yeah, definitely want to. It's a lot simpler than trying to go after individuals. Sometimes in America, that's all you can do, though. You have to. Saskatchewan Watcher. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know Canadian laws are similar to U.S. laws in a lot of ways, but I don't know how that works. Sometimes in America, like, even if they're working for the municipality, they'll still make you sue the individual officers. But you know, in a lot of cases, like, there's enough probable cause, basically, that the city or the municipality committed, you know, some sort of a violation. So, but yeah, they're dirty all over this continent.
Just can't stop being American. Nothing stops America, and nothing stops Ram.
Nothing stops Ram. I know a lot that'll stop a Ram. A Ram will stop itself. Dodge.
Michigan, the largest lake entirely within the United States and one of the largest bodies of fresh water in the world. I'm in Chicago, Illinois, but Lake Michigan isn't only in Illinois, of course. It's shared by 4 states in total. So what are the largest lakes that are located entirely in just one state? Let's take a look at all 50 states' largest lakes in order from smallest to largest surface area. I'm Chicago geographer. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and was improved because the majority of states' largest lakes are actually man-made reservoirs, and they can be just as important to recreation and wildlife as natural lakes. Back to Lum's Pond, though, it was built to help fill the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal's locks. Today, a very pleasant state park surrounds the pond. Over in Hawaii, they've got a natural lake as their largest, but this one presents an unusual case. Halaliki Lake is ephemeral, meaning it's only full of water during the rainy seasons. At its fullest, it measures about 1.31 square miles. This lake's remote location on the sparsely populated island of Niihau means it doesn't get many visitors. At least, that's what I gathered from the most liked review on Google Maps. Vermont also has the natural largest lake in Lake Bomazene, which feels appropriate for a state so admirably protective of its natural beauty. Vermont is also famous for the vast Lake Champlain, but that is of course shared with New York. Lake Bomazene, entirely in Vermont, measures at 3.75 square miles.
Oh.
It's the only residential lake on the list, with hundreds of homes circling its shoreline.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the sack.
Lake Hopatcong
Got a lot to do tomorrow. Got a lot of shit to talk about, and it's a long marathon. War is a marathon, so just cruising along. I'll catch you guys later.
And sure enough, its largest lake is man-made.